Round 2, Game 1. Two teams going at it, two very good offensive teams. A team with offense and a team with good players. Who will win? Carmel Roundabouts, Plainfield Thunder, coming up next. We welcome you to the Pepsi Center in Plainfield. Plainfield is 72-10, a really good squad. They are so far unbeatable in the playoffs. Can they be beaten tonight by Carmel? Here are the starting five for both teams. Carmel has Evan Harrell, Max Weiss, Baron Walker, Jordan Lomax, and Trey Shulsky. And the Thunder have Reese McKee, Harper, Baker Lyons, Noah Smith, Brennan Miller, and Elijah King. Now, here we go from Plainfield. We are underway. Carmel has the ball first. Harrell gives it to Lomax, back to Weiss. Weiss to Walker. Baron Walker will miss the three. Baker Lyons with the rebound. Pass back to Miller. Here's Miller. Miller back to Smith. Now it's Baker Lyons with it. Covered by Baron Walker. Now here's McKee. Reese McKee will miss the three. Weiss with the rebound. Weiss to Lomax. Jordan Lomax for three. He will drain the three. Now here's Harper. Baker Lyons with it. Baker Lyons to McKee. Back to King. King has it. King to McKee. Back to Baker Lyons. Baker Lyons has it to Miller. It's Brennan Miller with it. Miller there. Covered by Lomax. He will miss. Shulsky rebound. Here's Shulsky. He looks, goes up now to Harrell. Evan Harrell for two. The Roundabouts up by 5. Now here's Reese McKee with it. McKee has it. Now here's Miller. It's Brennan Miller now. Miller looks now to McKee. Reese McKee for two. Great shot by McKee. Now here's Evan Harrell. Harrell has it back to Walker. Baron Walker with it. Walker to Harrell. Evan Harrell will miss. King rebound. Here comes Baker Lyons. He drives it in. Now Baker Lyons looks to Smith. Noah Smith getting covered by Walker. Smith back to Miller. Brennan Miller for three. Tie game. Here's Evan Harrell. Harrell to Weiss. Back to Harrell. Harrell has it. He looks back to Shulsky. Trey Shulsky for two. This Carmel team can score very quick. Same as Plainfield. Don't be shocked if it's a high-scoring game. Here's Smith. Back to Miller. Brennan Miller for three. The Thunder are up front now by 1. Here's Max Weiss. Weiss has it. Weiss to Harrell. Evan Harrell for three. Now Carmel is up by 2. Like I said, these two teams can get out and score quick. Here's Baker Lyons. Harper, Baker Lyons will miss the three. It's Walker with the rebound. These two teams can make a lot of shots. Here's Lomax to Harrell for 2. Harrell will make the 2-pointer, and Carmel is up 12-8. Here's McKee. He has it now. Timeout Plainfield. The Thunder is down 12-8 here at the Pepsi Center. Back live from Plainfield. Folks, the timeout is done. Man, such a great playoffs we are seeing. The Elite Eight, the final 8 teams are in. We have Plainfield, we have both Evansvilles, we have Centerton, we have the Terre Haute Arrows. And of course, Orange Beach. King to Nielsen, back to Miller. Miller with it. Back to Hopkins. It's Max Hopkins to Smith. Now to King. King over to Smith. It's Noah Smith with it. Noah Smith will miss the 3. Shelsky rebound. Here's Max Weiss. Weiss takes it back to McGrew. Kai McGrew for 3. Carmel up 15-8. Remember, folks, Plainfield is number 1 in the East. This would be an upset if Carmel would win, but Carmel really good when it comes to shooting. Here's Nielsen. Passes Smith. Noah Smith. The slam on Jordan Lomax. Get your posters here. Jordan Lomax is now featured on a Noah Smith poster. Lomax now getting covered by Smith. Lomax goes up for 2. It's 17-10, Carmel. Smith gives it to Nielsen. Jace Nielsen with it. Covered by McGrew. Back to Miller. Miller looks. Covered big time. Now less than 50 seconds left. Miller to Smith. Smith almost loses it. But timeout. Plainfield looks like Miller is hurt. And we will stay with you instead of going to a short break. Man. Like I said during the game, what was going on. Carmel can shoot. They can win these games. They are a really good offensive squad. There are good offensive squads, just like Carmel. But Plainfield, though, when they get on a roll, they are like the Arrows. They are hard to beat. Remember, they've only gotten beat 10 times. Now we welcome you back here to Plainfield. Looks like that the timeout is over. Scholar Haynes is in the game for the Roundabouts. Miller is not in the game. That's crazy. Bears gives it to Nielsen. Here is Nielsen with it. Nielsen takes it back to Ellis. It's stolen by Ellis. Now here's Quentin Volts. He will go up. He will miss. Hopkins with the rebound. Plainfield has the ball. Back to Baker Lands. He goes up for 2. Wilkerson gives it to Walker. Here's Baron Walker with it. Walker has it. He holds it himself. Walker. He has it covered by Nielsen. To Volts. Quentin Volts for 3. It's an 8-point game. Baker Lands has it. At the end of 1, Carmel is up by 8. The Roundabouts, their offense is hot in this one, but Plainfield right on their tail. We will be back to start the second quarter. We are back to start the second quarter here from Plainfield. Baker Lands is there. How about Isaiah Mayberry? He's out there for the Thunder. He goes up. He will miss. Haynes with the rebound. Haynes to Quentin Volts. Volts has it. Back to Wilkerson. Wilkerson to Walker. Baron Walker will miss. Mayberry with the rebound. Now it's Nielsen with it. Nielsen Nielsen to Fairs. Fairs with it. Logan Fairs will miss. Wilkerson with the rebound. Back to Volts. Quinn Volts with it. Volts back to Walker. Walker. Covered by Nielsen. Now it's Haynes. Scholar Haynes with it. Scholar Haynes for 3. Carmel really hot tonight. Here's Fairs. Has it now. Plainfield down 10. Down 11. Fairs looks. Wilkerson covering. Lands back to Nielsen. Nielsen looks to keep it himself. He does. He will miss. Ellis with the rebound. Now here's Scholar Haynes. Haynes with it. To Volts. Volts goes up. Now steps back behind the line. Pass to Walker. Baron Walker will miss the 3. It's Fairs. Back to Baker Lands. Baker Lands quick out of the gate. Now he looks. Covered by Baron Walker. Now here's Fairs again. Fairs covered by Wilkerson. Fairs. Looks strong. Goes up, turns. Will miss the shot. Volts with the rebound. Volts back to Walker. Walker back to Volts. Back to Wilkerson. Wilkerson to Haynes. Scholar Haynes has it. Now to Ellis. Eli Ellis will miss. Mayberry rebound. Now here's Baker Lands with it. He spins. Now it's Hopkins with it. Hopkins has the ball. He tried to go up and shoot. Now it's Fairs again. Fairs covered by Wilkerson. Good look by Fairs. Goes up. Makes the shot for 2. Timeout Carmel. Back live to the Pepsi Center. We are taking a live look. You can see Carmel. Man, they are talking really strong about this one. You can see how good Plainfield has been. But you also see what Carmel has done. They are up 23-14, up by 9. We are back live, about to go back under action. This game is presented by the Thundercast. Watch live now on the Crazy Sports Kid Network YouTube. Shelsky gives it back to Harrell, and the second quarter is back underway. Harrell to Walker. Walker has the ball. Strained right hip. Miller is out for the rest of the playoffs. Evan Walker for 3. Evan Harrell, Harrell for 3, not Walker. McKee back to Hopkins. Here's Max Hopkins. Looks like that Miller is coming back into the game, but he is hurt. Here's McKee. He goes up. He will score. 10-point game now. Harrell with the ball. Now here's Quinn Volts. Volts back to Lomax. To Harrell. Evan Harrell for 2. Man, oh man, Carmel is in a rhythm. Plainfield cannot knock the rhythm out from Carmel. Now here's Baker Lands. To Fairs. Logan Fairs will miss the 3. Harrell with the rebound. It seems like that whenever Carmel gets into a rhythm, They do make mistakes, but they cannot be stopped on offense. McKee, back to Fairs. Back to Baker lands. Baker lands for 3. He drops the 3-pointer. It's a 9-point game. Harrell, back to Walker. Walker with it. Shelsky still out there as well. Back to Shelsky. Now it's Quentin Volts. Quentin Volts misses. King with the rebound. Now is a rhythm going back to Plainfield. Here's McKee. Back to King. King to Fairs. Now it's McKee again. McKee again. Reese McKee for 2 will miss. Walker with the rebound. Walker back to Lomax. Now it's Quentin Volts. Volts to Harrell. Less than 50 seconds left. Harrell will go up. Easily will make the 2-pointer. Carmel has 30. Harrell has 14 points tonight. Here's Baker Lands. Lands has it covered by Walker. Now here's McKee. McKee back to King. King back to McKee here. Now it's Baker Lands. Covered by Walker. Baker Lands looks. Walker covering. Baker Lands to McKee. Reese McKee for 3. Nice shot by Reese McKee, bringing it down to 8. Now here's Harrell. Harrell has it. Less than 10 seconds left. Here we go. Pass from Shelsky to Volts. Quentin Volts for 3. He will miss. 8-point game going into halftime. Carmel, they have all the rhythm and the momentum. Brennan Miller is struggling to walk off the court. Let's send you now to the Nova Rain halftime show. We are here for the Nova Rain halftime show. A big development entering halftime. Brennan Miller is hurt. Don't know if he will get back onto the game, but you saw the replays. He could barely walk to the scorer's table and walk off the court. This game has been nothing but special. Now, take a look at the bracket. Terre Haute, the Arrows, the Huskies, and the Racers all take game 1 of their games. Plainfield trying to take game 1 here against Carmel. Carmel, a really good squad. And Carmel is leading right now by 8. Harrell and Miller are your top performers tonight. Something to watch in the second half is to see if Brennan Miller actually plays. And if he plays, how difficult will it be for him to play? Miller is hurt. He was limping. Now, replay of Evan Harrell's first half as he and the Roundabouts lead the top-ranked Plainfield Thunder by 8 here, entering the second half. Second half is underway here from Plainfield. Looks like Miller is still out there. McKee to Miller. Brennan Miller will miss the 3. You can see he is slow, moving and running. Here's Harrell. Harrell with it. Evan Harrell misses a 3. Put back by Shelsky. 10-point game. Here's McKee now. McKee to Baker Lanes. Now Smith. Noah Smith will miss the 3. Shelsky with the rebound. Pass to Weiss. Weiss spins. Covered by Baker Lanes. Here's Lomax. Now it's Walker. Walker there. Baron Walker misses the 3. King rebound. Handoff to McKee. Now here's Miller. Now it's King with it. Elijah King. Back to Miller. Miller to Baker Lands. Baker Lands will miss. Walker with the rebound. Walker, big pass to Shelsky. Shelsky to Harrell. Harrell has been great tonight. Harrell back to Walker. Now it's Weiss. Vice to Shelsky. Shelsky to Harrell. Evan Harrell will miss the three. Baker Lands rebound. Lands back to McKee. McKee looks. Back to Baker Lands. Here's Smith. Back to McKee. They have to shoot it. Here's Miller. Miller to Baker Lands. He does, but he will miss the three. It's Lomax with the rebound. Lomax to Shelsky. Shelsky for two. Once again, just like the first half, the rhythm is on Carmel. Carmel has the rhythm. Here's McKee. McKee back to King. Now here's Miller. Miller to Baker Lands. Baker Lands will miss the three. It's Lomax with the rebound. Lomax has it. Takes it himself. Max Walker. Baron Walker misses the three. McKee with the rebound now. McKee takes it himself. Nope, timeout yet. McKee looks. Back to Baker Lands. He goes up for two. 10-point game in Plainfield. Harrell has it. Harrell back to Walker. Baron Walker with it. Walker back to Harrell. Evan Harrell will miss the two. It's McKee with the rebound. Reese McKee with it. Big pass to Smith. Smith for two. Plainfield trying to score and come back on the Roundabouts. Here's Walker. Walker spins. Goes up. Will easily score. Easily couldn't get defended by Smith. Walker easily scored there. Here's McKee with it. McKee back to Baker Lands. He's going to go up. He's going to miss the two. Shelsky rebound. Pass to Vice. He was almost out of bounds. Vice back to Shelsky. Shelsky goes up for two. Again, momentum was on Plainfield. Now momentum is back on Carmel. Momentum is the key to the game in this series. King has it, goes up for two, almost misses it. Lomax now. He's going to give it to Harrell. Here's Evan Harrell with it. Timeout Carmel. 1:48 left in the third quarter. It's a 10-point game. The Roundabouts lead it by 10. Back live from Plainfield as you see both teams still talking it over. Man, Plainfield cannot just break out of the momentum that Carmel has. Carmel has all the momentum in this game. As we hear the buzzer, as we see both teams coming back onto the court. Man, Plainfield, they need to get into a rhythm that fits them best, but Carmel, they come here, and just like what Roundabouts do, the Roundabouts in real life, like the Roundabouts on the road, they always break the momentum and the rhythm. And Carmel is doing that tonight as Haynes will get another three. Carmel breaking the rhythm and momentum of Plainfield. Nielsen has the ball. Pass to Miller. Miller looks back to Smith. Noah Smith missing the three. It's Walker with the rebound. Here's Walker. Walker has the ball. Back to Shelsky. He will go up for two. Man, oh man, at the end of the third quarter, Plainfield is going to have a big talk of what they want to do in the fourth quarter to change things. Here's Nielsen. missing the three. Nothing is going on offense for Plainfield. Here's Haynes. Pass to Walker. Walker back to Haynes. Haynes to Lomax. Lomax goes in. Missing the two. King with the rebound. Lands back to Miller. Miller back to Baker Lands. Looks like that Miller can't run that well. Lands to Smith. Smith almost drops it. He will go up for 2 and 1. Fouled by Lomax. Into the game now for the Roundabouts. Quentin Volts and Eli Ellis. How about Evan Harrell out there as well? Fairs is out there as well for the Thunder. Hopkins 2. Smith will make the free throw. 43-31. Harrell quickly gets to the other side. Harrell has it. Holds it himself. Covered by McKee. Now here's Harrell to Volts. Quentin Volts missing the three. And after the third quarter, the Roundabouts are up by 12. 43-31. Carmel leads it in Plainfield. Something's going to have to be different in the fourth quarter if Plainfield wants to win this game. Take a look at the assists of the game. Vice to Shelsky, and Shelsky with the easy shot, the easy two-pointer. Like I said, something has to give for Plainfield if they want to win this one. Volts has the ball. It's all Carmel right now. Carmel has had the advantage and the rhythm since the beginning of the game. Harrell will make the three. They are getting lucky on those three-pointers. Man, Carmel is getting really lucky with those shots. Nielsen to McKee. McKee goes up. Will miss the two. Wilkerson with the rebound. Here's Lomax. Back to Harrell. I'm going to say it again. Carmel can shoot. Plainfield can shoot. These two teams are really good teams offensively. But it is going to be a matter of time before we see Plainfield's offense take control. They can go on a run. Same as Carmel. We've seen Carmel tonight go on a run. Now here's King. Back to McKee. They almost lose it. Here's Nielsen with it now. Back to McKee. McKee back to Fairs. Fairs getting covered by Wilkerson. Fairs almost drops it. Almost gotten stolen. Here's Nielsen again. Nielsen covered there. Big time shot by Jace Nielsen. That is what they need, and now they need to go on a run. Plainfield needs to go on a run. Here's Harrell. Harrell with it. Looks, spins. He's going to go up and score. Easy shot for Evan Harrell. No one can stop the Carmel offense. Here's McKee. McKee looks. Pass to Fairs. Logan Fairs for two. Drains the two-pointer. Here's Quentin Volts with it. Volts has the ball. Back to Wilkerson. Now it's Haynes. Scholar Haynes with it. Looks like Noah Smith is coming back into the game. Haynes out to Volts again. Back to Harrell. Harrell takes it himself. He's going to go up and easily score. Carmel has 50 tonight. Here's McKee. McKee has it. Timeout Plainfield. They have 3 timeouts remaining, and Carmel again has all the momentum. If you would have told people that at the beginning of the season that the Roundabouts of Carmel would be beating Plainfield in Game 1 of Round 2 of the CSKN playoffs, nobody would have believed you. they would have said, you are delusional. Plainfield cannot be beaten. Well, they're getting destroyed right now by the Roundabouts. Carmel has momentum, and it's going to take a lot for their momentum to be broken. Plainfield has 3 minutes left to come back, and that is plenty of time, but they just need to get on a run. But Plainfield really hasn't been able to. Here's Smith. Smith gives it to King. King back to McKee. To Smith, to Baker Lands. Baker Lands for 3. That is a big time 3 that they needed. Harrell with the ball. Plainfield needs some Carmel misses and a lot of 3s. Harrell to Shelsky, back to Weiss. Weiss goes up. He will get contested, but will miss. Baker Lands rebound. Here's Smith. Smith has the ball. Smith holds it. Back to Miller. Miller for 2. Once again, Plainfield needs to go on a run. They have 5 points so far since the timeout. Lomax goes up. He will miss. Miller with the rebound. Remember, guys, it's a 10-point game. Miller to Smith. Smith to Baker Lands. Now it's Miller. Brennan Miller. Oh, he will miss. It's a foul by Elijah King. And it's going to be Carmel ball again. What is Plainfield thinking? A foul by the Thunder. Harold back to Weiss. Weiss with it. Back to Lomax. Lomax to Shelsky. Now here's Harrell. Evan Harrell for 3. Man, oh man, that loose ball foul by Elijah King, I think, just stalled the momentum of Plainfield. Here's McKee. McKee with it. Reese McKee back to Miller. Brennan Miller will miss the 3 as Harrell with the rebound. Harrell back to Lomax. Lomax for 2. It did slow the momentum of Plainfield. Carmel has the advantage by 15. Baker Lands with it. Lands back to McKee. McKee goes up. He will miss the 2. Harrell with the rebound. Harrell back to Lomax. Here's Lomax with it. Lomax keeps it. He's going to quickly get blocked by Miller. Here's Smith. Quick pass to McKee. McKee has it back to Smith. Pass to Baker Lands. Baker Lands will miss the 3. Harrell with the rebound. Harrell back to Weiss. Here's Max Weiss. Back to Walker. Walker back to Shelsky. Shelsky easy, but will miss. Miller with the rebound. Less than a minute left. Smith has it. They need to start chucking up 3s if they want to go make the shots. King to Miller. Brennan Miller missing the 3. Rebounded by King. Miller back to Baker Lands. Baker Lands back to Miller. Brennan Miller missing the 3. Walker to Harrell. That pretty much will do it, though. 2 missed shots off of a rebound by Plainfield. Time running out. Here's Harrell. Harrell will go up. Will miss the 2. Here's Elijah King with it. Guys, did not have this on my bingo card tonight. Carmel, by 15, is going to upset Plainfield at the Pepsi Center. Carmel upsets Plainfield in Game 1 of Round 2. Carmel takes Game 1, and Game 2 will be back here in Plainfield. But Carmel leads the series after a big win. We will see you next time as Harrell is the Quaker Aero Show Player of the Game.